Hello, welcome. This is another live, but this is horizontal. We're testing this out. This is going to be the first time we try this horizontal view. I want to know if the regular viewers, the people who regularly watch, got a notification, or maybe they got to see this on their feed where we're going live. Because usually we stream vertical, but today we're doing horizontal just as a test. Hey Artsy, nice to see you on this first horizontal stream. Nice. That's really cool. If we get similar amount of people coming on, if we get the regular people, then we may just start going horizontal. Non-retard view. That's funny. I'm just working on the angles here. I'm glad that some people got notifications. Obviously we're not going to get any new viewers here because when we stream on horizontal, it's just subscribers. But we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm going to make a little bit of wood here because we're going to be cooking for the first time in a long time. Hello. Hey, Beardy. Welcome, brother. Now, what I do have to get used to... Ugal. What I do have to get used to is... moving the camera when we do horizontal. It's a little bit different. It's not as easy. Today we're making shashlick. We're actually gonna do shashlick today. No chicken, just shashlick. We're gonna do it on the skewers. We're gonna actually be doing shashlick on the skewers today. This is gonna be marinated pork meat. So we're doing shashlick today, guys. A lot of people have been asking for it, so I thought maybe we'll do a horizontal live on. We'll do a horizontal live and we'll do the shashlick. Shout out to a lot of the original viewers. Thank you for being here with us, guys. Golly, this is not a good piece of wood. It's chipping away. I recently had visitors from Yekaterinburg, and I cooked for them my quesadillas, and they said it was the best quesadilla they ever had. So if you guys ever come visit me, at least I know now on my comal, you see that? I made quesadillas on that. Yeah, it's been 3 years. Now I have different things where I can cook. I have a lot of news. It's been 3 years essentially since I moved to Russia, and it's been 1 year since we've owned the plot officially because I'm on the plane to Turkey. Last stop is Russia. Nice, man. You're almost there. Hopefully you enjoy your visit, your stay, whatever you're going to do. Some people that I know are actually leaving Russia. And we'll see what happens with me. Gracias a ti por invitarnos al club especial de especial Tucana. I actually do think I will end up getting Russian citizenship in the future. I thought about it, and that's one of the topics that I want to talk about today. I'm in no rush to get Russian citizenship or residency. First of all, I can't even get Russian residency based off of the fact that I'm married with a Russian, which is a little bit annoying. So I'm going to be waiting until my child is born so I can apply for Russian residency, permanent residency. And I'm told that thereafter I can apply for Russian citizenship almost immediately, essentially. So that's one thing I am considering, but there's not really a big major pro to being Russian. There's nothing... canal. Órale. Yo pensaba que estabas diciendo cana como pana, dicen allá en Colombia y Venezuela. So yeah, I've been thinking about it because with the child comes the opportunity to become a Russian citizen, but Russian residency is pretty much the same thing. Can I have dual citizenship? Yes. One thing that is happening right now, Russia's kind of thinking about taking away the Russian double nationality thing. Like, they may in the future make you give up your prior citizenship. And if they end up doing that, like, I don't want Russian citizenship. It's not really important to me. Because there's no way I would give up my Mexican citizenship. That would be ridiculous. If there's one citizenship I could keep in the world, it would be my Mexican citizenship. My Mexican citizenship, I mean, it's just citizenship to a country that has no beef with the world, you know? I cannot give up my U.S. citizenship. I don't want to lose my BA benefits. Yeah, you won't have to. Don't worry. What I'm saying is, if Russia did make you give up your citizenship, I would let you guys know. It's not happening yet, but they've been talking about it as a possibility. So, you guys have been watching me. You've been hearing. I'm making these a little bit of firewood here, because we're going to be cooking the shashlick today. Good morning, Olga. No benefit Russian citizenship. Yeah. There is, for me at least, having Mexican citizenship and United States citizenship, there's no benefit for the Russian citizenship for me. I think the Mexican citizenship is very similar to Russia's. I think we can get into the same places. Mexico has a very strong passport because it doesn't have enemies around the world like Russia and the United States. Russia and the United States are counterparts. Some countries you can get in with Russian passport easier. Some countries you can get into easier with the United States passport. Both countries are loved or hated by half the world. But Mexico is loved by the whole world. And I know that might piss some people off, but that's just how it is. Olga, did you get a notification? We're trying a new style of, hey, Josue, hello, good morning. Did you get a notification, guys? We're trying horizontal stream for the people who want to see different. I'm going to be showing you the outside and horizontal view. It is, I don't know what time it is. I think it's going to be 11. Nice. For all our live audience, these lives are going to be a little bit with less people. So on horizontal view, only subscribers will be able to see. We won't get any new viewers, which is, you know, the channel does need new audience. But this is kind of special because I know everybody who's watching is an original viewer from the channel. Hey, what's up, my friend? Bye, Silo. Have a safe trip. Silo's on his way to Russia, guys. He's on his way to Turkey, and then he's going to land in Russia. In about 2 minutes, I'm gonna go outside and show you guys what it's looking like now. Please do consider hitting like. That way maybe YouTube will expand this to other people. You will get shashlick. Yeah, I'm gonna be cooking some shashlick soon. Yeah, you guys are original viewers. Everybody who's on right now, because usually we get up to about 100 viewers, sometimes, but on the vertical streams, it gets pushed out to new people. So what I'm trying is to build up the audience on a horizontal. That way we can have original viewers and possibly new viewers in the future. So today we're going to be talking about what's changed in the last 3 years in Russia, my plans going forward. As many of you guys know, my wife is pregnant, and it's going to give me the opportunity to apply for permanent residency. What I'm doing is this. The view is actually even different on the horizontal view. So it's been 3 years since I moved to Russia, but I haven't been able to get a residency. Obviously, my Russian is not good enough to take a test, a linguistic test. Then they did the shared values visa, but I don't believe in the shared values visa. I don't think it's an appropriate way to immigrate to a place by taking that. Hey, Mike, hello to them. So what I'm going to be doing is gaining my residency in Russia through having a child and being married. And the reason why I don't believe in the shared values is because it's a welcoming to all of the enemies of your own country, and they don't have to learn history or language. Now, obviously, I don't know the language well, but I don't believe that there's merit in leaving your country. Some people talk about, oh, the illegal immigration in America is really bad. And then you go to Russia under the shared values visa, which is legal immigration. Okay? Because you're not planning on learning the language. You're not planning on learning the history. It's kind of like a freebie. And I don't believe in that. I've been in Russia for 3 years under a tourist visa legally, and because my wife will give us a baby, it's kind of like giving back to the country in a way. Hey, thank you so much for the support, my friend. I'll be in Novosibirsk in June. No way, you're from LA. Bro, there's only maybe one Mexican restaurant in Novosibirsk. Thank you for the support, by the way, brother. So anyways, I don't want to talk bad about the shared values visa. People do get the shared values, but I believe that Russia should never invite immigrants based off ideologies, because I've told you, ideologies change. People change their mind like whores change their underwears. I've said this on a live many times. People change their minds as many times as a whore changes her underwears. So all of these people coming to Russia under the shared values, if they betray their country, if they have negative views on their country, they can then have negative views about Russia in the future and betray Russia. You should never welcome traitors. Now, I'll tell you another thing. As an American, I could have survived in the United States. I never left the United States for ideological reasons. It's just not safe to go somewhere based off of what you think. Okay, we're humans, and I've seen personally a lot of immigrants in Russia, and in this channel, we call them immigrants. Nobody's a fucking expat, all right? If you're from the United States, especially, you're not an expat in Russia, you're an immigrant. Deal with it. I've seen a lot of immigrants in Russia change their minds and talk badly about Russia. Obviously, not everybody's making content, but I've personally have seen it with my own eyes and I've heard it. And they complain a lot. And on this channel, we always say, Russia is not for beginners. And a lot of the people who come here are beginners. So what do? They start looking for handouts. They start talking badly about Russia. Or they start really trying to, oh man, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, this is we're testing out the horizontal live, by the way. Welcome everybody. This is not our regular style of streaming, but I've been told you guys want to see it in horizontal, so here we are. I'm going to pick up this, and we're going to be going outside, and I'm going to be showing you our garden. Thank you so much, guys. We're almost to 30 likes. That does help spread the lives, by the way. Let's go. I'm going to pick this up and I'll go outside. I'm really excited to show you what it's looking like outside. The thing is that Russia has a very unique way to see the world, life and everything. Well, every country has a unique view of seeing the world, Artsy. Russia is not special in any way. Every country is special. Russia is not special because every country is special. And that makes everything the same. I'm just talking like a realist, right? Nadie merece ser tratado como inútiles. La inmigración es fuerte. You know what, guys? I'll tell you something. No, I'm wearing my Gorka. Guten Tag. Guten Tag. It's not cold, guys. I'm just wearing my Gorka. Underneath, it's just my Tilnashka. So this is just my uniform. When you guys see me dressed like this, it's not cold. It's just my uniform for living in Russia, in Siberia. I'm going to be doing a little bit of work today, and I need my boots, right? It's not that it's cold. It's just that this is how we look. This is how we dress in this part of the world. I've had visitors come from Moscow, and they say, hey, why do you wear your Gorka? It's like, bro, it's just how we look here, okay? I don't live in a city. I live in Siberian town. Let's go outside and show you what it looks like outside. This is the first horizontal live stream we've ever done outside. Really happy to show you now. Nice, we made it at 30 likes. Thank you so much. And now it's time to show you what the mountain in front looks like on horizontal view. Here we go. There it is. We recently had work done here. We had a heavy equipment operator come. You guys saw that on vertical, but never on horizontal. This is the first time this is being shown. Hopefully you guys can hear and see all right. Let me know. This is the views. There's the marble quarry. My yard is fixed. What are you talking about? What the hell? What is not fixed about this? What do you want me to no, this is grass. If you mean this gardening, yes, we already do fix and we already do harvest. So the yard is nice in my opinion. Everything is in its place where we need to. This grass is not worth planting. This is just natural, okay? In the future, I will plant grass, but I like the natural view. I don't want to change anything. I want everything to be normal like the wilderness. This is all natural. Whatever you see here is all natural, and we only move the ground where we're going to plant. This is potatoes there. I'm going to show you guys something crazy. It rained really hard yesterday. So you can see where the pathing is. Oh no. This is a cucumber there. Who thinks they know what this is? Who thinks they know what this is? What do you guys think that is? Did you just say I'm gonna guess it's a plant? this this stream is always undefeated with the knowledge. Hello from California. So that is right, Andrew. That is corn. That is corn. I have a couple corn plants coming in. A lot of people told me that it couldn't be done because it's too cold. We're gonna see because my corn is already growing. That is my corn. They told me it could not be done in Siberia outside of a greenhouse. They told me it could not be done. Hello, my friend. Hello, welcome everybody who's just tuning in. They told me it could not be grown outside of a greenhouse, and my corn is growing. And I told myself, I'm from the Americas. I have to try to grow at least one corn. And yeah, that's what it is. So apart from corn, one of the other major things that I'm planting is this. Siberian cornfield become a thing. So we have corn over there and we have potatoes here. Both of these are from the American continent, guys. These are things that are growing in the Americas, but I'm trying to grow them in Siberia. Now, look at this. In about 2 weeks, we're going to be eating our first set of radish. Okay, so you see the radish coming in. These big ones are radish, and these are a mixture of salads. Yes, but they told me that it couldn't be grown outside of a greenhouse. And obviously, if you have a greenhouse, it will grow. And yes, in Siberia, you do get very warm summers. But depending on when you put the seed down, it may not have enough time to germinate and grow right. And a random night can fall below zero and kill your crops. It just depends on when you can, it depends on when you plant it. Yesterday we had snow, by the way. Yesterday we had snow and it could have killed those plants, but it is what it is. Hello, Mother Russia. This is Sludanka. So let's continue. Yeah, we have extreme winters here. Here we have, may I ask a question? Many YouTubers, etc., recently moved in the last 3 or 4 years. My trip was in 2002, and several trips later kept many friends over their years. What was your question? I don't think you asked a question. So these are radish, and look at these onions here. Look at that. These are green onions, and these are red onions. And we're going to be eating these as well very soon in salads. So this is growing very good. And I believe this is Ksenia's dill, maybe? You see this grass here? Yeah, Western Siberia is totally different also than this place. But we do have similar weather, Olga. And again, It depends on when you plant it and how severe that year is. Olga, you know, this year was very warm. This winter was very warm. It all depends. It all depends. But enough about that. We already have food that we can eat because this green onion, we can put in our salads. And in about a week and a half, we're going to be eating our first set of radish. And this is very early in the growing season. I don't think that you guys saw the finished product of this path that we put on the ground. You can see everything is nice and in order. It looks very, very beautiful and clean. This is the first live I've done where we're showing you the new setup. What do you guys think about that? We really like it. We're gonna be doing a lot more of this black tarp gardening material around. Yes, actually we had visitors, guys. We had visitors and they traveled up the mountain. Our visitor traveled about halfway, I would say. He said once he got up there it was just too much. So check this out. Our guy came here and then kept walking, and he said that the hill just did not stop. So I'm not sure what the hell he encountered up there. But this is the view in horizontal. And thank you so much for joining us, guys. I appreciate your guys' support, and it's nice to see old viewers. This is the first time you're seeing the marble quarry. Look at that. This is the first time you're seeing the marble quarry in horizontal. And we have this side over here. Oh, by the way, there's another update I want to give you guys. Because we're having a baby. Oh man, it's absolutely much greener. Because we're having a baby, we're gonna be putting a swing here, guys. One second, I'll turn that off. Let me know if we're back, guys. I had to turn they put commercials whenever they want. And also, guys, it's not easy being a YouTuber from Russia. You guys know how it goes. Okay, guys, we're gonna do mushrooms. The mushrooms, we harvest the mushrooms in the wilderness when it's mushroom season. I may do a live from that or another video. We eat mushrooms every year. We go mushroom hunting every year, and the mountains behind us give us enough mushrooms to eat every year. Thank you so much for the guys who watch the advertisements. It does help the channel. And IP, thank you so much. And I was cut off, by the way. I wanted to give you guys some interesting news. Yes, I speak Spanish fluently. We're gonna be putting a swing set here for our baby and for the tourists that come to this plot, because could you imagine swinging like this and seeing the great views? This is one of the best views in town. It's unrivaled by the majority of the town. So let's go inside and make that fire. I wanted to show you what the outside's looking like. And we're gonna be doing some shashlick. It's dangerous if you don't know which mushrooms to pick, but because this is our fourth year, gonna be my fourth year picking mushrooms, then I don't have a problem. Hello, Dan, how are things going? Hello from BC, Canada. Everything is going good. Welcome to the live stream. This is the first horizontal live stream that we've done, and I guess you guys get to see a lot more. You see that? This is the horizontal. Hey, brother, thank you so much. It's so hard for me to speak. I can't make sentences. My Russian is more of I understand and I could read, but I'm not confident to make any sentences yet, to be honest. My kid was going to be born in October, and I'm going to be very transparent about it. My child will be born in October, and I do plan on speaking only Spanish and Russian to it. And Ksenia will only speak in Russian to our child. So I believe that that will be the moment where my Russian is really going to start taking off. I have not been able to learn as much Russian as I wish because my wife actually speaks way too much English. When I met my wife in Russia, I didn't get to choose, right? I didn't know who she was. I didn't know that she really liked speaking English and wanted to better her English. So by the time we went steady, by the time we started dating, she had no desire to speak only Russian to me. And that's why Ksenia's English is actually much better than a lot of these other Russian people because Ksenia has a better accent, she has a bigger vocabulary, and she's a very good translator now for many people who come to visit, which means my Russian has not gotten better because Ksenia has spoken in English. But I will say, when my baby is born, I will be speaking a lot more Russian. I promise you that. So, Slow Hardware, thank you so much for asking that question. Ksenia will only speak Russian to the baby, and obviously my Russian will be getting better. I already understand a lot of Russian in conversation. When Ksenia and her father speak, I can keep up with a lot of it. I know exactly what they're saying. And we recently played a game with some of my friends here in Russia, and they were speaking in Russian with each other, and I understood, and I kind of cheated because they thought I would not understand, but I speak Russian more than, or I understand more than what I say. So I hope that answers your question, and thank you so much for the support. And now it's time to light the fire. It's a little harder to show you guys on vertical view. This is my right hand. This is my right hand. I think it's inverted. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. That's my brother. I wear my ring on my right side for Orthodox style, I guess. I know in the United States they wear it on the left hand. This is my left. This is my right. But if it makes you feel better, I'll put it here. That way it looks like it's on my right. All right, guys. Do we have at least one new viewer watching? Because if we do, oh, Shiza. If we have at least one new viewer, again, we do this is why I like horizontal views, because I can read the chat and I can fix the camera much better. Anyways, I'm going to start this fire. If we have, yeah, Shiza. Also, you know, usually I make the fires for new subscribers on the flint thing I have, my fire rod. But I don't think we have any new subscribers on the horizontal. It's very difficult to get anybody new. So today we're going to be lighting it with this amazing technology, this lighter. So yeah. I'm going to go show you the meat that we're going to cook as well. 1 second. Epa. Jeez. This horizontal thing really trips me out. I have to move everything into strange places. And I dropped the meat as well. Okay. So I have marinated pork meat here on for the shashlick. I'm gonna put my ring back on the right side. Maybe that's what's happening. Chotamvu Siberia. I don't know what the heck that was. What I don't like about YouTube is that once you lock in what style of stream you want to do, it doesn't let you change. Like for instance, right now it would be much better to do the stream vertically and then later put horizontal. We're gonna start the fire with my fire rod. Somebody mentioned Lars from Survival Russia, my good buddy, so I don't want to look like a piece of shit. Shout out to my buddy Lars. Gee whiz. There we go, there's that fire. And that's how it's done. you guys know the Joe Rogan? We got a new style of, I mean, we didn't want to buy this charcoal here, this ugal, but this guy's face kind of looks like Joe Rogan to me. We got this for as an emergency. This is the new ugal I'm going to be using. This is not the typical one that I use, so I just wanted to show you. Hello, welcome. We're going to be doing Shashlick today. We're doing the first horizontal live stream. And I'm sorry again if you can't see that well, or ugal. 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 This is ugal. Okay, this is ugal. So we're going to be cooking some shashlick today. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Today is the first horizontal stream. It's a little harder for me to read the chat, but I got to put this in. Okay, here we go. I hope everybody's enjoying this. The views are a little bit different, like I said. Can anybody give me a review? Do you guys like this better, or do you like the vertical or horizontal view better? Let me know, please, right now. You guys can comment right now on the chat. Skinny George Lopez. Oh, yeah, kind of too. So you guys can choose. Do you like horizontal or vertical views better? A lot of people have been complaining. So we're going to try horizontal. All right, IP says horizontal. Well, definitely, if whatever is better for the viewers. I'm on mobile. Okay, that's true. You know what then? I think what we're going to start doing is we're going to divide certain things and activities, or certain days are going to be vertical, certain days are going to be horizontal, because some of you guys can enjoy both. The channel does suffer a little bit when there's too many vertical anyways, so it doesn't matter. I have to do both. Yeah, I'll try to do more. I'm going to try to stick and learn to do this, guys. I don't eat mountain sheep. I've never eaten it before. I'm trying to learn to do horizontal streams. But anyways, here we go, guys. The problem is moving the camera around for the things so I can show you. obviously every angle has, I like to show you guys through good angles. It's not just talking, it's making sure that the screen is all right for you guys. Wait. Have to get the fire right. Let's go over here. Hey, thank you so much, Jason. I'll tell you what, this charcoal does sizzle better, but the thing is, it doesn't really last a long time. The other one lasts longer. And you know, it's always better when it lasts longer because you don't need to put as much. You want it to last longer. Good morning, Dimitri. Good morning. We're just gonna make some shashlick right now, guys. We're gonna be doing a little bit of shashlick. Yes. It's not a lot. I'm gonna be cooking this to eat a little bit now, and I'm gonna take some to my wife. Yes, I am a Marine living in Russia. I'm gonna be cooking this. Then I'm gonna be going outside and showing you guys the new project that I have going on. And yeah, there it is. You guys asked for shashlik, so check that out. Greetings from Southern California. Hello, hey everybody, where are you guys watching from? This is the first horizontal stream. I'm wondering, where does YouTube send this off to? I know I have some of the OGs watching, so I understand. And but I'm wondering, who does the horizontal view get to? Sometimes we get viewers from all over the world. I'm gonna guess we have about 3 continents this one. So there we have Canada. There's North America in the house with the United States and Texas. Shout out to Texas. I love, much love to the Free State. Andrew, thanks again so much for the support. Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, New Zealand. Okay, so we have Oceania, North America, South America, Greece. That's Europe. What else do we have? That's 4 continents. That's actually more than I thought. Olga is also in the eastern part of Russia, so that's 5. Sacramento, California, Ilya. Sacramento is very well known for having a big Russian community up there. Yeah, baby. Hello, brother. If Olga was in the Asia part of Russia, for sure, my brother is. Upa. So. No, sorry. Thank you so much for the support. I love you so much, man. I love the support that we're getting on this channel. And you know what? I don't really care to grow the channel through lives, and if we have the original viewers from time to time, I think that we can do this horizontal view. I know a lot of you guys are watching from maybe the television or a computer, and you do get that full screen, and horizontal works for mobile and for the rest of the stuff. East of Western Siberia. I always say that anything west from Irkutsk is west. Because we're right in the center of Siberia, it feels like. Okay, it's time to put these things on the skewer. Greetings. The rooster's singing. You're in Siberia as well. Nice. Okay, guys. Here we go. One moment. Yeah, I had to make that fire out for Lars. Survival Russia. I'm just going to be doing this the long way, like this. So you guys can see here what I'm doing. I didn't bring any vegetables, but I would sometimes put onions or sweet peppers and zucchinis in this. I don't want to stack it too much with meat. I want to put it on 3. That way it cooks a little bit more even throughout the whole time there. So I think that's enough. We're going to load the next one. Thanks, guys, for the likes. We're almost to 100 on a horizontal. That's crazy. I never thought we can get to 100 likes on a horizontal one, actually. Because the viewership is only just us, the originals. There we got Medi tuning in. Thank you, brother, for coming in hot. I'm only using about 3 of these skewers. I don't want to put too many. So crazy. Again, only using 3, so we don't want to fill these up too much. This is pork shashlick. Usually we cook chicken meat, but today we're doing shashlick. The channel was talking about making shashlick, and I had not made shashlick in a long time. So we're back on the vertical, on the horizontal rather, making some shashlick. This is not for now, this is for later. And I'm going to be taking some of this to my wife. I'm going to be filling these last ones on the other skewers. And I love when there's fatty parts and right next to there, and it's really well marinated. So there you go. This is really well marinated. Yesterday I ate Buryat cuisine. I ate buza or something like this. I was eating Buryat food yesterday. Anyways, guys, that's what it's looking like. We have 3. And what I'm going to do is drop that juice on there. By the way, I said I was going to do the Russian MRE, but now that we're doing horizontal, I might be doing it this weekend. I've been eating a little bit better now, and eating Russian MRE kind of fills you up too much. So I've been holding off on doing it. But now that we're doing horizontal streams, I think it's only right to try the new MRE on horizontal. If it's scheduled on the page, on the live streams, that's the day that it's going to happen, right? I can make something. I'm going to Ulan-Ude this month, by the way. Guys, I'm going to be traveling through Buryatia this month. What month are we in? Gosh. No, sorry, in June. In June, I'm going to be visiting Ulan-Ude. I'm going to be driving through Buryatia because I have to go back to Mongolia and reset my my tourist visa. I'm going to be visiting and making a live stream and a video from Ulan-Ude, the capital of the Buryatia Republic. This is one of the republics that has the most decorated soldiers in all of Russia. Some of the best fighters are coming from Buryatia. So, some of the most important units in this conflict, by the way, are coming from Buryatia. So I'm going to be very honored to drive through Buryatia and visit Ulan-Ude. I have a huge respect for the people of that republic, warriors for hundreds of years. These are some of the best warriors on all of the world. And I'm going to be so happy to drive through there. All right, here we go. Check this out. Yes, they have a lot of farms here. It's ready to go. Oh, I'll give you an update right now, Mehdi. We recently just went outside. I'm going to show you what it looks like outside, brother. Give me about 5 minutes, please. Stay with me. I'll show you what it looks like outside. Let me just get this meat ready. That kind of rhymes. Let me get this meat ready, Mehdi. I'll give you a quick view, by the way, from... Oh, almost said a bad word. I'll give you a quick view of the hills in front. Look at that on horizontal. Nice and green. We just finished. I was telling the chat that we just had a heavy equipment operator fix this part of the land here. And everything is looking much greener now. And this is the first time you guys get to see the quarry in horizontal there. It looks awesome. But let's go take care of this meat and I'll be right back outside to show you the gardening. Look at that. Little by little, you have to make sure that it cooks slowly on each side. And what I like to do is just turn them all together. Turn them all together. I like turning them all together and evenly. Thank you so much for 78 likes. Let's try to get to 100. You know I do. Hola, Ma, la quiero mucho. Saludos a Silmar, California, allá con mi madre. La amo, Ma. Acá andamos cocinando y nada. And yeah, I love the quarry because it gives a lot of employment to the town. Artsy, don't call me, don't call me out like that, Artsy. As you can see, it's cooking. I am trying my best. I am trying my best to get the right view on the horizontal. By the way, guys, does anybody have any questions? We started this stream where I was talking to you that I will be getting my Russian permanent residency soon after my child is born. My child is due in October. If we're blessed to have this child and it comes out healthy and it lives, because you don't know what God has in store for you, right? But the plans, they are to get Russian permanent residency via having a child in Russia. A lot of people thought that I was gonna get it with the shared values, but I would never sign a piece of paper saying that I dislike my country or that I'm against it or anything like this. I don't sign any documents against my country. The only time I ever signed on the dotted line was to join the United States military. I can love the United States still. My family lives there. My mom just wrote to me from the United States, so I plan on visiting the United States in the future. My family lives in the United States, and so I want to be part. I love Russia, I love the United States, and I love Mexico. These three countries have a part of my heart, and the plans are to have 3 citizenships for my kids, right? I would never bite the hand that feeds me, and you just never know what's going to happen in the world. A lot of Russian people. A lot of Russian people, a lot of my friends have been waiting for me to either become a Russian citizen or a Russian permanent resident. And it's finally, hopefully going to be happening this year. Early in the stream, somebody asked, are you going to get Russian citizenship? And I told you guys, I've been thinking about it. I want to. I think that it would be a good thing to have. It would facilitate my life inside of Russia. But I am waiting to see what's going to happen. And no, I would not denounce the United States. I will denounce the government and its actions. But America is the people, not the government. America has always been the people. So I would never denounce the United States. I would denounce the United States government and their actions around the world. No, I am not thinking that people are moving to Russia, dum-dum. And I never tell people to move to Russia. So, you're either brain dead or a bot. And actually, there's less bots in horizontal view, which is fascinating. That I do like. I love the fact that horizontal has less bots and less Slava macaroni people. So, it's really interesting. We're making shashlick. We're making shashlick, guys. If you're just joining this live stream, that's what we're doing. We're cooking a little bit of meat here. I think that this is probably the best meat that we can cook. In the future, I will be putting onions and peppers and all of that. In the future, I can show you guys how to marinate, but everybody has their own style, you know? But yeah, guys, people think I'm probably the only channel who will say Russia is not the answer for everyone. I also say Russia is not perfect. I'm probably the only channel who openly says that over and over again, because I don't want people coming to Russia who are crazy. I don't want people coming to Russia who are running away from their country. I don't want people who are traitors to their own country coming to Russia. So I always say Russia is not a good country for everyone. You would have to be a lunatic to think that one country can solve your problems. I am not a lunatic. I would never steer you guys in the wrong direction. I do offer a hand. If you ever visit Russia and you want to see Siberia, you want to see Lake Baikal, and you want to come as a tourist, come. I welcome you. You have a friend here. But I would never ask you to stay. I would never ask you to betray your country, your family. This is not a normal thing to do. And I believe that it is the job of people who make content to put that disclaimer. If you're a pussy in the United States, you're going to be a pussy in Russia. I mean, you're going to be even a bigger pussy. If you're a pussy in Europe, you're going to be a mega pussy in Russia. If you're a coward in America, you're going to be a coward in Russia. If you are weak in America, you're going to be very weak in Russia. Did Ksenia get the Mexican citizenship? Ksenia is going to get Mexican citizenship hopefully next year when we go to Mexico. She's already a Mexican resident. Mexico honors marriage very fast. Mexico honors marriages very fast. So let me just finish off that thought. Whatever you are in your native country, it's going to be exposed in Russia and it's going to be exaggerated in Russia. So if you're strong, you can be stronger here. You can learn to be stronger. If you're weak, you will be weaker. If you're smart, you can be smarter. Russia has a way of exposing what you are and exaggerating it, because in Russia, you are living under a little bit more extreme conditions. Yeah, definitely. I would say people in the West are a little bit blind to that. And the strange thing is that it would be a very good thing to learn. Like, learning about Russia would be very good for other countries, because Russia is going to be playing a big part in global politics in the world. Yes. So Russians can travel without a visa to Mongolia. My wife Ksenia will visit Mongolia with me, and she can enter Mongolia without a visa. Russia and the United States have the same visa agreement for Mongolia. This is one thing that I like about Mongolia. Both Americans and Russians can visit Mongolia. Здравствуйте. Hello from Montana. Hello, Vlad. Привет. Добро пожаловать. Well, listen, American politics is never ran by a president. That's a fact. I gotta put more of this ugal into my fire. Ugal. This is what the shashlick is looking like. I'm about halfway done with this. This is halfway cooked. I like it a little bit browner on the outside, but it's looking good. Listen, I'll tell you the truth. The problem with American politics is that it's not for Americans. When I fought in the Afghanistan war, they wanted us to lose. They never gave us a winning chance in Afghanistan. That's when I knew that all my friends died for nothing, and the interest of the American people was not in the minds of American politics. American politics and American politicians don't care about their military, which says a lot. I have a lot of friends who died in Afghanistan, and they fucking let us die for nothing. They never let us win. They put rules of engagement that made people die for nothing. You had to wait to get shot at to shoot back at an enemy that's pointing an AK-47 at you. It was bullshit. Smedley Butler. Smedley Butler, one of the most decorated servicemen in the United States, literally said he was doing work for a crime organization that was the government, and war was a racket. I wish I can go back in time and just blast everything and get the hell out of there with everyone. Oh, shout out. Hey, by the way, Mehdi. My best friend, when I was a fire team leader in Afghanistan, my machine gunner actually stayed in the United States Marine Corps. He got promoted to Master Sergeant yesterday. Master Sergeant in the Marines, brother. So proud of him. When we talk about the military, I think about my best friend all the time. Master Sergeant in the Marines. Combat Engineer Master Sergeant, by the way. That's crazy. The best month to visit Lake Baikal is June and July. June and July. So if you guys want to come visit Russia, come next month or in July. Yeah, E8. That is a huge deal. And it feels even better. Yeah, not a lot of slots for a Master Sergeant. A Master Sergeant is Ops Chief and essentially the master of that MOS without going to school. Yeah, no problem. This is the Marines. Because I believe E9 is Sergeant Major and Master Gunnery Sergeant. So it would be an E8 in the United States Marine Corps. Ah! Oh yeah, E8. All right, E5 is Sergeant, E6 Staff, E7 gunny, E8 master sergeant. Yeah, but by the way, the guy that brought up Smedley Butler was my brother. That fucker's been seeing videos and reading too much. He pops in at random and says random shit in the chat. And it really gets me going. I don't even know when he's there. He's like a freaking unicorn. No, not like a unicorn. Yes, you can swim in Lake Baikal. So the people who want to visit Lake Baikal, June and July is the best months to visit the lake. Do not come in August, September. It can get a little bit too cold. The amazing Rando says random stuff too. And you know what's interesting? It's always the very highly decorated military guys or the guys who saw a lot in the United States who speak up against the government. We also had Dwight Eisenhower talk about the military-industrial complex. So you have to understand, the guys at the top who have integrity usually speak up against it. I just hate the fact that in Afghanistan we had so many rules of engagement and we couldn't fight. Honestly, we got a little bit more charcoal in there. So let's take this time to ask a few questions. If you guys have any questions. How'd you find my way here? So when I met my wife in Russia, I never knew that her father was living in this town. My wife's mother died 10 years ago. My wife's mother passed away and her father was in a very bad mental state. When I decided that I was going to start living in Russia, I decided first of all, I cannot leave Russia with this woman. I can't go back to the United States, but I could go to Mexico. But the problem is, I cannot take the child from a man who's lost his wife. When you lose your wife, if you have a daughter, you get really close to that girl. She is your daughter, she's your world. She's the spitting image of his wife, and he needs someone there. So when I found out that my wife's, at the time, my girlfriend, her father lived in this town, I said, okay, you know what? Let's move to that town. As long as my father-in-law has air in his lungs and his heart is beating, I will not abandon him. I will not take his family away from him. I will not permanently leave Slyudanka. I will stay here until he passes away. Look at that. I'm going to eat that. Spasiba, brat. You know, I don't think that my life would be any different as far as happiness, but I am very stoic about things, and I feel like my life would have less honor if I did anything else than what I'm doing now. I believe in honor and having pride, so me staying here and giving this man a grandchild and honoring him for what he's done, raising his daughter. He worked 33 years as a conductor. He was a tanker in the Soviet army. He's had a pretty rough life, guys. So I must honor his service, his integrity, and his will to live up to this point. and make sure that I do not take his daughter, and make sure that he sees his bloodline. A lot of Americans comment in some of my videos, say, hey man, take your wife to the United States. What are you doing? And all of this stuff. And I always laugh because there is no problem when you're happy and comfortable. I can live in happiness and comfort in the United States. I can live happy and comfort in Russia. All it means, I mean, the only difference is how much honor I can bring to myself. I have a Mexican mentality. I don't want it easy. And by the way, yeah, tanker life, I've talked about this with Medi. I could not do it. I could not do it. I can't be stuck inside a freaking metal can. Tankers, I have, I mean, like, in my opinion, I much rather be what I am, was a combat engineer, than be stuck in a metal can. And I say that respectfully. For all the tankers out there. I'm not sure what he was operating, but I know he was a conductor. After the military, my father-in-law drove or conducted engines for the Soviet Union. He would travel all across Siberia, transporting goods into the territories. So his job kind of translated. He went from driving one metal can to driving a metal can. So I make that joke with him. It's pretty funny. Check this out. That is delicious. So I believe that I will be doing that, Vlad. I will be traveling to Mexico some winters. I will be traveling to Mexico some winters. Hi, how are you? I'm originally Punjabi Indian, raised in Canada. Applied my trip in March. Look forward. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Punjabi dudes coming over here to Russia. What parts of Russia are you going to be visiting? This is pork meat, by the way. This is shashlick in pork meat. Okay, I'm gonna show you outside, Medi. I'm gonna show you our garden. And by the way, Medi, I got some corn growing in. I was letting the chat know that I had some corn growing in. You can see it's a lot greener now. We have one greenhouse. That other one was set up as an emergency yesterday because it was snowing yesterday. So, excuse me, we put that as an emergency. But here we have daikon is growing in. Daikon is white radish. Look at that. I have some potatoes there on the side and daikon, which is white radish. Here we have the normal radish growing in already. And we have green onions. We're going to be eating in about a week and a half from this. My father-in-law planted about twice the size than last year of potatoes. This is going to be enough potatoes to eat until next year. We're actually going to have to be selling some in the market this year. So that's that. Now I want to show you what it looks like inside the little greenhouse. Here we have some tomatoes and some cucumbers. This is inside our little greenhouse. You can see everything's looking healthy in here. I'll come back outside and check on the rest of the stuff, but I have corn, carrots, and beets growing there. In that little box, we have everything to make borscht. So I planted potatoes, beets, carrots, and some dill. So everything in that box, we're gonna be harvesting in about 3 months, and we're gonna be cooking borscht. Opa. My parents were shocked that you're from Canada and moving to Russia. Olga, you're planting potatoes today? It's awesome. Planting potatoes is such an iconic time in Russia. Vlad, I have not learned too much Russian, but I understand a lot. I can read pretty well, but I don't speak Russian. And we made it to over 100 likes on a horizontal. This is monumental. Thank you for the support. This looks burnt, but it's not. This is delicious. This is the fat. Mmm. This is awesome. I love when the fat is a little bit burned. It's delicious. So we have about 2 minutes left on the shashlick. And yes, we're starting to do horizontals because we're trying to learn how to angle things. Good morning, good morning. This is the first horizontal stream that we're doing. We're learning how to position the camera. We're trying to get everything ready for the bigger live streams that we're going to be doing in the future. A lot of you guys have asked for it, and now we're delivering horizontal live streams brought to you by Siberian Russia. The biggest difference is, where in the United States did I live? I lived in Southern California in Los Angeles. But because I was in the United States Marine Corps, I lived in North Carolina, South Carolina. I lived in different parts of California for my training. After that, I moved to North Dakota. Are you anywhere else in social media? No, I am not. I am only on YouTube. I'm not much of a social media guy. I'm not the best at making videos. That's why we moved on to making lives. Yeah, I worked in the oil fields of North Dakota. I told you guys I lived in a reservation up there in a res. It was gnarly. I told people all the time, if you think you're having a rough time, go to one of these reservations that have a lot of money from oil. Yeah, Mehdi and I were both from the Defense Politics Asia open mic community and the Defense Politics Asia channel. So it kind of crosses over. Mehdi and a couple other people are actually from that same community. Okay, guys, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. No, I lived in Newtown in the Three Tribes Reservation. I actually had to be voted in by a council. Newtown, North Dakota. I had to be voted in. I had to have native blood to be accepted for housing. So I went through the council, and my mom is Yaqui Indian from Mexico. And what American Indians don't understand from United States, yo, here, let me tell you something. something really funny. The Native Americans from the United States didn't know that Mexican Native Americans were North American Native Americans. And the fuckers were arguing with me saying, I can't have housing because I'm Mexican. And I said, yeah, that's what makes me Native, dum-dums. I had more Native American blood than most of the people in the council. I have more than 50% Native American blood. It was hilarious. If you guys didn't know, Mexicans have a high percentage of Native American blood. Here we go. I'm gonna... Hopefully I don't drop this. And I'm trying to adjust the views all right. The rest of my ancestry comes from Spain. I've never seen Punjab restaurants here. Yes, we do have a little bit of French and Italian. And yes, I am from Guadalajara. And Mary, I wish I can give you some of this. This is really good. No, I don't really eat Indian. Oh, actually, yeah. You know, funny you should ask. One of my sisters is dating a guy from India. I think he's from Bangalore. Bangalore, is it? Bangalore, something like this. And he cooked for us Indian food. Holy shit, was it delicious. Olga. Look at this. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't believe Horizontal got 100 likes. Ugh. Okay, it's time to show you more things outside. Well, I'm really happy that the horizontal stuff is working out again. We don't get new viewers, but we do get a better community because we know everybody. Let's see, can I read Russian? No, I cannot. Let's see, it says Nifiga ti tam jirush na rabotu. I don't know what the hell that means. I brought the shovel out because I've been digging this freaking hole, but I hit permafrost. I'm gonna be building an outside bathroom. I haven't updated you guys in a long time. I'm digging this hole because I'm gonna be building an outside bathroom for my wife. It's very hard to be a vegan in Siberia. I don't think it's freaking possible, to be honest. Very, very hard. Yeah, I'm building a fighting hole. I had to stop digging because I hit the permafrost. In this part of Russia, you do get your floor frozen, even up to like at least 1.5 meters is frozen solid. Now, if I had to dig a fighting position in this type of weather, it would be impossible. 1.5 meters was frozen, and I had to do it little by little. What I found a piece of wood that deep. Also, somebody asked if I had to fight for Russia, would I? The thing is, Russia doesn't need me. I saw somebody, an American, joining the Russian military. I've told you guys, if you don't speak fluent Russian, you will not be used in infantry anyways. It's very dangerous. It's dangerous if you can't communicate with your unit. So I don't know if Russia has English-speaking units, but if you're not speaking the native language, you can get the person killed to the right or left. When I was in Afghanistan, we used to kick the Afghan army into doors because we couldn't tell them go. We just kicked them in. And sometimes when we told them to cover us, they wouldn't cover us. So a lot of people died this way. A lot of Afghan guys we pushed into doors and got shot up. A lot of our guys got shot up because they were not shooting at the enemy. So that's what happens. I would not feel comfortable fighting for Russia because I don't speak Russian. I don't want to put anybody in danger. I only ever think about militarily. I only have one experience, and it's Afghanistan. I can only think about that to decide what I would do. Española is not a good thing for me. I know a crazy racist that is in that, and if they're willing to bring in a lunatic racist into their unit, then Española is not for me. Yes, these brigades that are mercenary-like, I'm no mercenary. Mercenary are trash. I am a professional military man. When I was fighting, I was a professional. I would never do missionary work. Mercenary, missionary. I'm saying mercenaries rather. Sorry. I do missionary work whenever I want. And yes, the barbershop guy. That freaking piece of shit. That piece of shit, a barber guy, me and him got into an argument, a debate. And I told him he was a piece of shit. He's not infantry. He's not fighting. But he talked about how Russians should go to Constantinople and all this shit. And that's obviously going to cost a lot of Russian lives. My son, if I have a son born in Russia, would have to fight in future wars. And that piece of shit wants to send more Russians to die. He has no words in this. I would pick up a rifle like this. Like this. If anybody were to threaten this part of Russia, I would pick up a rifle like this. And hell no, I would never move to Moscow. I'm a Siberian. So yeah, I don't like that barber guy. And I don't like mercenary work. So when Wagner got put into the regular Russian army, Kazakh, Siberiak, da. I am a Siberian Kozak. When Wagner got put into the regular army, I was very happy. I was like, okay, now this is what they needed. Ginger, welcome. No, Ginger, I think it's probably the horizontal view that's making me look skinnier. That's freaking hilarious. I'm probably looking skinnier because we're on horizontal stream. But I have been doing my 3 miles, my 5K every day now. Well, I'm not talking, sorry, I didn't mean permafrost. What is it when the floor is frozen solid? We get about 1 meter to 2 meters of frozen solid ground every winter. I know permafrost means forever. I was wrong to call it permafrost, but you should also help me out with the right word. 120 likes, holy crap, we made it. Whew. Howdy from Australia. I heard sugarcane grows in Russia. I've never seen it. Where can I get Russian grown sugarcane? No clue. Hey Ginger, it's nice to see you on our first live stream like this. Hello from Montana. Miguel, welcome brother. I'll give you guys another thought that I was thinking. Because I believe I will be going in the future to the front, obviously in the new territories. And I believe this, I talked to my wife about it already, and I'll say it on the stream. I've said it in the past, but I was a combat engineer. My job was looking for IEDs, landmines, and explosives. And I believe that if my child is 2 to 3 years old, I will be going to the Donbass region to clear mines for the Russian Federation, whether it's humanitarian work or whether it's with the Russian military. I have a personal hatred for mines. I saw a lot of people in Afghanistan, a lot of kids lose with no hands, no legs, and innocent people died to mines. So I don't care about whether it's for the military or humanitarian work, but I've already spoken to my wife and she says I can do it. Hey Dan, South Central Montana, hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is either a freaking a shallow grave for me or a freaking fighting position. But anyways, the people of the Donbass region deserve to have a safe life, you know? Get the charger, 1 second. Oh, hello, South Africa. Привет. No, I don't need to fight for my new country. I don't owe Russia anything. I don't owe Russia anything. That's the wrong mentality. No man my debts will be paid how I see fit. I don't need to go kill Ukrainians so that my debt is paid. There's also honor in giving life That's the one thing. The problem with some people is that they're too radicalized. I don't owe Russia a contract in the military. I put my charger inside. People who think like this sometimes are a little bit radical. For me, if my kids are gonna be Russian, I feel happy in Russia. Hello, Daniel from Canada. Hey, thank you so much, Pitbull. Thank you so much for watching, man. Welcome to the first horizontal stream. I'm trying to find my charger. It's in my pocket. So the work that I plan on doing in the future with the demining of the Donbass is for humanity, for kids and elderly. You guys know that I donate a lot of money and food in already. I always cared about young people and old people. This is what I've always cared about. That's how I pay my dues. By giving people better chance at life. Now, if I can feed people here in Russia, in Siberia, then I would love to clear mines in the Donbass. My wife said it's okay, so I'm gonna do it. Just gotta have time for my my kid to grow up. I know that it's dangerous work. This is why I'm going to wait 1 or 2 years so I can meet my child, and then I will travel to clear mines. Olga, thank you so much. Go get that manicure, girl. I want to meet my kid before I go. Hey, Ginger, I'm digging the outhouse bathroom toilet. This is going to be a toilet. So I'm digging it up right now. And I'm going to smoothen the surface outside. And then I will essentially start building the damn thing. But this is going to be the hole for an outside toilet. My wife is pregnant and she has to pee a lot. So I want to have an outside bathroom for her. Right now, it's for my wife, but in the future, it's going to be for visitors. A lot of people probably have never used an outside toilet, but this is very common in this part of Russia. And you know what? I told you guys one of the most famous quotes in my culture is, if you're scared to die, then don't be born. And I've never been scared to die. But because my kid is on its way, I do want to meet it for at least 2 years before I go. Yeah, Medi, actually, this is going to be built as soon as possible into a 1-room/banya. So this is gonna be for the guests. They're gonna be living in the banya with the actual room, and it's gonna be a bathroom, right? So that's gonna be for visitors. They're gonna be able to sleep here. Welcome everybody, and I have some news about what we're trying to do here soon. In October, I will know exactly what we're gonna build or what we're gonna buy, but I will always have housing for a visitor. Whew, sorry. Will you ever visit United States with my wife? Probably not. If the United States doesn't fix its migration or visiting regulations, my wife will never be able to go to the United States. It's so difficult now. And that quote that I gave you is one of many having to do with death and life for Mexico. If you're scared to die, then don't be born at all. Essentially, it's saying you have no choice but to be brave and man up or build courage. Actually, there's not a lot of stone in that. I can dig fairly easy. Check it out. There's one big rock in there. Got it. That's probably the biggest rock, and that's it. Everything else is very small. Here's another small rock. It's ice cold. This is ice cold. So cold. Because down here it was frozen. Now, if you're wondering what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to get to the part of the soil where you get sand so that I know that the pee is going to purify really well into the soil. Do they have giant women in Siberia? I see a lot of tall people. But Russians, where I'm from, are very tall because of the diet that they have. They eat a lot of meat. And Ginger, the videos you sent me about your soil are insane. I've never seen that many rocks, girl. What the heck? All right, I'm gonna dig for about 5 minutes and then we'll get to some questions. Because this is pretty much done. There's one last rock. Oh, there's a nice bird singing. Okay. Whew. Whew. The ground is frozen again, absolutely frozen. Give me 1 minute, clear this out, and I'll show you. You see how it chips it rather than dig? This is frozen solid here. This is ice. It's not digging, it's chipping away. This is ice cold. This is dirt that's frozen. Now, interestingly enough, Ginger, in this region, they use a jackhammer to dig through this. If they need to do it, they use a jackhammer, which is almost like digging through cement. So this is just an educational part of the video for you guys, is that if you're frozen, if your ground is frozen, you probably need a jackhammer. Now I'm going to smoothen out. The excavator cannot go through this. Depending on the size of the excavator, it's not going to work. The arm of the excavator tried to open this up, and he had to stop because of the ice in the ground. So depending on how big the machine is. Obviously, some excavators will not come to the civilian areas. So you're just going to have to wait. I'm going to smoothen this out here. Hey, thank you so much, my friend. Black Tea, I appreciate the support. Thank you. I'm gonna smoothen out the outside of this hole, and on another day, I'm gonna start building the outhouse. We need it as smooth as possible. Because we're gonna be doing, I'd actually use TNT or dynamite for this one, Medi. C4 we use for cutting or breaching or cutting a little bit of metal. But the way that TNT and dynamite blast, it really pushes out much harder. You know what I use C4 on? I use C4 to break my freaking neighbor's wall who try to steal my land. Just put a charge on each post. That's evil. Gotta get out. Okay. We're done with the hole. Check it out. That's as deep as I'm gonna go. This is about a meter. It's almost as deep as this shovel. So that's a good meter and almost like a meter and some change. I can't get out of this hole. Ginger, I'm gonna show you around a little bit since you came in a little bit late. I'm gonna show you what it's looking like. Yeah, front towards enemy. Claymore. One second. Gonna put this shovel in. Check it out, Ginger. Look at the views from the plot. Everything's becoming a lot greener now. And now I'm gonna show you some of the plants that we have growing. I'm gonna have to put something to hold up that cucumber on the outside. We've put this material here on the ground. I think I have to open up the greenhouse actually. One second. I've been halfway up that hill, but it freaking goes on for too long and it's too steep. I'm gonna be taking a shovel and making a path in the future. It's worth investing time to that because it looks absolutely cool. You can see the lake from up there. Yikes. You can try that again. Yes, I've been to a fracking mine, but in the United States, not in Russia. It's hard to stream off a GoPro, Medi, because of the connection. the camera on the GoPro is not the best for low light, so the streams on the phone is okay. Here's what it's looking like inside the greenhouse. We have on this corner the majority of the goodies that are looking very healthy are tomatoes and cucumbers. So just opening up the greenhouse to give a little bit of air here. Some of these are already dead actually, but we're staying strong with what we have. I have to try to revive my cucumber plant that's over here. Oh. Yeah, it was too cold. It was too cold. Last night it snowed, Ginger. It snowed, and I put this out here thinking, I said, you know what? I'm going to try to grow it even if it gets cold, cucumbers, because people say it can't be done. And it was the same thing with corn. They said it can't be done because it actually snowed yesterday. So this one might not make it. What I'm trying to do is hold up its leaves so it doesn't waste energy holding up those leaves. But if they do die, I'm going to cut them so that it doesn't send any more water to them. The stem is looking strong still. And here's my corn. My corn is coming in all right. You see, I have multiple corn coming in. Yes, again, it just sometimes it snows and you never know if the snow's gonna stick. But there's the corn. I could do that, you're right. I have a couple straw in there. Yeah, I might do that actually. Here we have broccoli. Xenia loves broccoli. Look how many broccoli plants she has. They actually survived the yesterday snow fairly well, without a problem. I have some carrots growing over there, some beets and tomatoes growing there, and I forgot what she has planted on that side. But check that out. Look at the view. I was traveling in Russia and I met her in Irkutsk City. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the corn, guys. This is just an experiment. if it survived yesterday, it shouldn't have a problem surviving the rest of the year. It might snow maybe twice more this year, but it's looking strong. I have high hopes for the corn. So let's go ahead and answer some questions. If anybody has any questions, look at the horizontal view from the background. This is the first time we've seen it like this. If you're an old-time subscriber for about a year, you will notice that it's very much greener than it was before. When you guys started watching the stream, there was nothing green about that mountain. Now that's all you're gonna see is blue skies and green backgrounds. Hey Dan, what do you think about Derek Hoffman, who recently migrated here with the family and signed for the Russian army? I don't think that it's a good idea if you don't speak Russian. If you don't want to do infantry work, it's fine. Like if he's not going to do any work in the front, it's fine. I don't know, I think he also had military experience. I don't know if he's been in combat. I don't know that guy. But as long as they keep him away from the front, from the people who are fighting, that's fine. Because he's more of a danger to the people than help. This war is very highly intense. There's not a lot of static positions in this conflict. So if he doesn't speak Russian, he can hurt a unit. What I think they're going to do with him, I honestly feel like they're going to use him as intel. I don't think that they're going to be using him in the front. I think he's just going to be intel. So whatever, it's his choice. If he wants to join, that's his problem. If you want to join our Telegram, it's linked down below, the Russian Experience. Again, I don't know him. Militarily speaking, I don't think that he's going to be used in the front because he doesn't speak any Russian. You would have had to already been in the front for a long time as a foreigner to be in the infantry, I think. There's people from Japan, like that famous Japan guy. But for the most part, I think they're going to use him as intel. That's my answer, by the way. I hope that's what you were asking. I hope I answered your question. Good luck to him, by the way. Good luck to him. We'll see what happens. I can get the Russian passport sooner with the military contract. I mean, I don't think it's a good way of. So intel, as far as like, to be honest, if he served in the military before, they're probably going to use him for that. Getting information, I mean, it's almost like spy work. And I know it sounds bad, but like, I don't know. I didn't know that it was legal as an American to fight for a country you're not a citizen of. I always thought that it was illegal for Americans to fight as non-citizens of countries. I never knew it was possible. Here's what the shashlick looked like. I'm gonna eat another piece. Yes, you can bring a bike. You can bring a bike on the train. This is pork shashlick. We cook this on skewers on a fire. If anybody wants to visit, you're welcome to visit here. I live in Sludanka, next to Lake Baikal. I've hosted many tourists already. I've had many visitors visit already. I am confident that you can have a good time here. this military talk, you know, I don't think. Yes, we have sheep and lamb in this area. My friend actually cooked some lamb for us. It was delicious. This is pork shashlick, Schwein. It's very soft and juicy. Yes, I met my wife randomly in Irkutsk. I never came to Russia for dating. In fact, I didn't like Russian people or Russia. I just wanted to visit Siberia. A lot of you people are probably new to this channel, but I never wanted to come to Russia. I just cared about Siberia. My love for Russia was there before my love for my wife. I fell in love with Russia and I decided to stay well before I fell in love with my wife. I'm not a sex tourist like a lot of these nasty, there's a lot of nasty tourism going on. If you want more information about traveling to Russia, you can join the Russian Experience, guys. That's our Telegram. We have a lot of people who help people out there, and you can contact me. Any other questions? This is the first live we've done on horizontal. I hope you've enjoyed it. We got over 130 likes, which is very unusual because views on horizontal are much different. The views on vertical, we get more viewers, new viewers, and stuff like that. Oh, a lot of people have died from the United States for the ungrateful goblin. More people have died for Zelensky from the United States than our government is saying. A lot less in recent years. But the problem is a lot of idiots are going to keep signing up to fight for the Green Goblin. The ungrateful Green Goblin. Do we have any channel members? Please put up that we left one ungrateful goblin emoji. This is the president of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky. Do we have somebody who can show the ungrateful goblin? Right there. Thank you, Deadshot. That's one of my favorite emojis. So listen, guys. Ginger's question was how many Americans I think have died for that ungrateful goblin. No, I didn't meet her on the street. I met her in a cafe. I was asking for directions in Irkutsk and nobody would help me. Nobody wanted to talk to an American in 2022 in April when the conflict started because America was siding with Ukraine and putting sanctions on Russia. Nobody wanted to help me, but my wife was kind enough to offer me some help. A random Russian girl did not want to speak to an American in 2022. Not in Siberia. We do have a lot of people from India studying in the universities in Russia. Some of the entire classrooms in Russia here in Siberia are only Indian people. Un forte abraço de Brasil. Saludos desde Brasil. Gracias por apresentar su historia. Su historia. Obrigado. Um forte abraço do Brasil. I love Brazil, man. Obrigado, obrigado. Well, or maybe you're a guy. So the problem with the United States is that it it doesn't stop acting like Russia is the bad guy. To grow oranges, you need a greenhouse. Where I'm from, in the Crimea Peninsula, I'm sure they grow really easily. But now where I'm from, American government is still gaslighting people, thinking that Russia's the bad guy, Ukraine is good, Ukraine is a democracy that's saving the world. Ukraine is not saving the world from anything. Ukraine is not a democracy, and Ukraine is not defending Western values. I've told people, and it makes people very, very angry. But here in Russia, Russia has the largest city in Europe. Russia has the most populated city in Europe. Russia is the most populated country in Europe. And the problem that goes on in Russia, Russia also is fucking itself. Because when people say Westerners, I believe that Russia is the new center of Western civilization, guys. Russia is the new center of Western civilization. It is a place where Western traditional values are being upheld. Okay, let's just say that. If it wasn't true, then why the fuck would you have Westerners using the shared values visa coming to Russia saying, "Oh, Russia is a conservative, blah blah blah," and the Western, the traditional values are upheld. The Western traditional values are conservative. They are conservative in nature. So if Russia is upkeeping with those traditions, why the hell would Russia not be the center of the Western civilization as we see it now? That's the problem. Russia thinks that it's not Western, but it is. Russia is part of Western civilization. Russia needs to stop saying the Westerners, the Westerners. Russia needs to start saying we are the capital of Western civilization now. It needs to stop with the BS. The United States was the leader of the Western civilization, but it betrayed Western civilization by siding with so many random lunatics around the world, and it stopped upholding Western traditional values. And Russia is uplifting that flag. So, if Russia is upholding the Western traditional values, why do Russians think that is the truth, guys? Sometimes I fall victim because, in this community, we have to say, what does Russia think about Westerners? Russians are fucking Westerners. That's the truth. And it might hurt a lot of Russians' feelings, but guess what? Deal with it. I will break it down for you in one easy statement. One question. Does Russia have more in common with what you guys consider the Western world or with China? A fucking country that's friend of nobody. China is not a true friend of nobody. What does Russia have more in common with what you guys consider Western or with China? Because China is, in its own sphere, the leader of its own sect. So what does Russia have more in common with the Western world or with China? And I don't trust China. China might one day try to take Lake Baikal or suck Russia for all its water and resources in Siberia. So everybody answer me that. Who does Russia have more in common with? China or what you consider the Western world? You have to remember, Russians are Slavs. Slavic people exist in the Balkan region. Slavs is the most largest linguistic group in Europe. Did you guys know that? The Slavic languages are the largest in Europe. So, Russia is one part of the Slavic world. So, for all those people who keep saying Russia's not Western, please correct them. Russia is a Western country. It is the capital of the Western world. No, Russia's not into its own. No, 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 no. Russia's not special, man. Russia's not special. We have Turkey, who's also European Asian, Georgia, Azerbaijan. All these countries in the Caucasus are Western and Asian, are European Asian. When Russians start thinking that they're special, that's the problem. Okay? Russia is not special in having East and West. Okay? It is not special. There are many countries that have European traditions mixed with Asian traditions. Russia is not in its own. What makes Russia special is that they embrace all of them and they push all of them forward. But it's not in its own. I gotta get one more piece of meat. Russia saved the world. Oh, this is so good. I just drank that juice. Hello, welcome. Oh, by the way, what I'm saying is my point of view. It doesn't have to be right. You guys can debate with me. Oh, I know you didn't say it was special. I'm saying it's not special. And I appreciate your input, by the way. You guys don't have to agree with me. And I know that a lot of the things that I say sounds like crazy stuff. Because I live in Russia, but I don't really talk like someone who's, I don't know. I think realist or center position. I don't talk about communism because it doesn't exist where I'm at. Since the Russian Federation, I think they have a communist party, but there's not a lot of open communism here. Semper Fi. On the Telegram, you can ask about jobs. People can help you. We have a Telegram, the Russian Experience, and we do have people who can help you find jobs or steer you in the right direction. Russia is not a communist country. I buy this meat and it comes marinated, but I marinate further. Let's get going, guys. Can somebody give me a time check? Does anybody know what time it is in Irkutsk Oblast? 12:43. All right, it's time for me to go home to my wife. Thank you, everybody, for the donations. Thanks for the likes. This was the first horizontal live stream that we've had. I am confident now that we can do the horizontal live stream for the food, military rations. I'm going to be putting that up. Please do consider hitting like. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I appreciate everybody. And I know that we go unhinged sometimes, but it's just part of life. See you later, guys. That was fun. I'll see you on the next one.